Tonight, we want to
have a heart-to-heart with the African community in Trinidad and Tobago. A serious heart-to-heart. We want to talk about some topics that we the shushu about. We hear a lot of elders go reason with we and thing, but they wouldn't say it out publicly and thing because the way that young black boys, young black men react to certain things in the community, a lot of people afraid to discuss certain things that could possibly benefit us. And that's what we want to do today. Because we realize that there are plenty elders treating us like all of we is the bad children. You know, our village that are the bad child and nobody don't tell the child nothing, even though they see the child doing things that detrimental. Well, it seems like, you know, I want to stigmatize we whole people because we know it have good things going on.
Of course.
We even had the page, the Afrotrinidadian Good News network, you know, where we share positive things that being done positively, positive accomplishments and things in the black community, but it's still a real things, but some of them is real simple things. Some of them is things nobody not to tell we.
Correct.
We know.
Yeah.
But we just not doing it at all and not benefiting we, boy. The way we live in we communities, boy.
Yeah.
And it seemed like is a topic real people, they might skim the top right. Some people might even turn it into some kind of joke. And then some people, they just
stay away from it.
Stay away from it. But it's not benefiting us.
No. Yeah, and when I look at, I have some questions because, I mean, I'm from Barataria. Well, I'm from Lavanton, right? So, automatically, stigma one time. But I am aware of how many successful people come from Lavanton who doing successful things.
No doubt about that.
But for some reason, that successfulness not spreading, you know?
And not being highlighted.
And it not being highlighted. Right now, I don't know if it is that we are afraid to see somebody successful and go to them and ask them, hey, Orisalase, I see you doing this Jersey thing, boy. Teach me now. Help me, I have a little idea, thing, how to get this, way to get that. You know, and I'm not seeing it not permeating. But when I flip the coin, the reverse of that, it's spreading like wildfire. Yeah. Right? Which is badness,
crime,
gangsterism,
negativity sells, boy.
Right? And it reigns supreme in our community.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it is something that you know, I've been wanting to talk about it in a public forum. But, you know, you're afraid of persecution and retribution or whatever the case is. But the fact of the matter is, folks, we need to have this conversation because it can't be me alone seeing what I see.
All of we seeing it and some of us sadly feeling it.
Yeah.
So it's not just seeing it alone.
Yeah.
Some of we feeling the effect side.
Yes.
Either directly, where we know people who is the victims of the crimes, or who is the victims of the society after the crime. So certain businesses don't do no business in your area.
Yes.
And them kind of thing now. You know, that take you, I imagine that, a gas truck wouldn't come by you. So if you live in somewhere and gas finish, you can say, well, two tank, the gas truck just pass us, so you can do that. You have to actually leave and take your tank and go outside of your community. And that is not something somebody do to you.
Correct.
It's something you cause upon yourself.
Correct.
And it hurting everybody. What about we elders?
Yeah, we're not protecting them. We're not protecting the elders. And as a result of that, the elders don't really want nothing to do with we.
Yeah.
You know, and that is madness.
I just always have to say I give thanks for the way I was raised. My parents. Mommy, love you. You know, I do agree with everything. I don't agree with everything that they do. And I don't think it have anything out there that you agree with 100%.
Right.
Now, that's just my thinking. But some of the basic core values that my mother and my father worked to instill in me still are part of my life today.
Yeah.
You know, like, I could not carry home this. And there's not something them buy for me.
You're mad?
I carry home this. I had to explain where I get this. Who owns that? How come you have it?
Yeah.
And if they're not satisfied with the answer, the either if I know where the person living, we go by them.
Right back, yeah.
I ain't just carrying it back, we gotta go. Or they come in school to find out, you know?
Yeah.
And in reverse now, you ain't checking. I remember my mother used to check my bag
Every day.
For a good long period of my school life until she was satisfied.
That she could trust you.
Yeah, you know. And then I went and lived with my grandfather for a good part of my secondary school life.
Right.
My father would come down the road and check on me. It wasn't too far from them, but it was far enough where I had autonomy for myself now. But they would come and check on he would come and check on me.
Yeah.
And you might get let me see a bag there.
Spur the moment.
Just so.
Yeah, spur the moment.
Right? Simple things like, we were right off as simple, but I realized it's not simple. Good morning. Good evening.
Good night. Manners, boy. It's the simple things. It's really the little things that we not
we
doing
let slip
anymore.
away.
Yeah. And I don't know if it's how to explain it, boy, because all right, it are plenty things we didn't like growing up
Right.
that our parents would have been doing or whatever the case is. But that doesn't mean it wasn't good.
Of course.
Right? But what I'm noticing is that a lot of the parents now not doing those things because they didn't like it, right? And they know they could acknowledge that those things had a positive effect on them,
Yeah.
but they're not implementing it in the children and them life. And I find that so crazy. You know, manners, the basic.
Manners, for me, that much more important.
Correct.
Than we just give credence for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. My 5-year-old daughter, as we walk in transport, good day, no matter what time of the day, I enforcing she on the
morning.
Good day. And at 5 years old, she's like, Daddy, how nobody answer? And then you'll see people and we know, you know.
Yeah,
that discomfort is because you know.
That's right.
So how come we not practicing it?
Yeah.
I, as an adult, it don't matter to me.
Yeah.
I walk in a transport, good morning, good evening, or just good day. You don't have the answer.
Yeah, you
but
do
it's
your
on
part.
me, exactly.
Yeah, you do your part. Manners make it, man.
And that real simple thing, because that manners, I realize, it is helping still a kind of respect too now. Because I doubted this how I just think, in my mind, I didn't think you will try to rob or harm your neighbor or somebody in your community who you're accustomed saying good morning or good evening to. But because, again, this is to me, and I'm putting it out there for us to discuss.
Yeah.
But because you don't say good morning or good evening to them, you don't feel no kind of connection, because more than likely when you say good morning to the person go, well, good morning, how you going?
Yeah.
How your mother, everybody all right?
Yeah. Correct.
You understand?
Correct.
It builds something that even though you mightn't see it or you might not appreciate it at that time,
Yeah.
you know how you just realize something happened. But just yesterday I see Mr. So-and-so. You understand?
Yeah.
It has built something.
Yeah.
You know, and we had to accept that part of that is on us.
Correct. We have to put the unity back in community. You understand? Because just last night I looking at a little group chat I have there, and we were watching a man walk, go on in a yard, pick up a man bike and go on. The bike is over $3,000, right? And the man upset. So right now we trying to find that man. You understand me? Because at the end of the day, it don't belong to your brethren. And the hour is after 1 in the morning. On the cameras, it's after 1. So you know it's a curfew. But you walk in and you out and about and causing havoc.
I want to say something that Uncle Errol said we could talk now. One of the things that we move away from, do you see my t-shirt? See, we traditional kind of protection now. Long time, I grew up here in, don't even pick a leaf in that yard. That woman just do so, and something will happen to you.
Yeah.
Right? And I tell you, that's some of the science we move away from too. Because you're not going to interfere with me or my things, and there wouldn't be that kind of consequence.
True.
I ain't not the type to go and pick up no gun for nobody. Right? But it had to have consequences.
Yeah.
You can't tell me, legally things are consequence, but things could happen to me where the law ain't do even seem to business about me. And I don't have no kind of redress.
Yeah.
And not working so with me at all, boy. Yeah. Because I remember we growing up that, and that was protection.
Correct.
Because you know certain people dealing with certain things.
Yeah, from the time you see flag in your hand thing, you know.
Right, don't interfere because, and it didn't make you have a kind of respect too.
Correct. Correct.
You know, and I asked some of my elders in the Orisha community, as a Orisha devotee, I asked them where that gone. You know, where it gone, where you nah, you can't thief from them, because them so. I mean, I know people, a family, I had met from Tunapuna, I think. You won't tell me, she can't even tell you what the key for the door look like. Because they don't even lock the doors in the house. Because everybody in the community know there is 3 generations of that. Don't even pick up a stone in the yard. She telling me she don't even know what key or she knows she thing. And she pushing the door and she gone. And but again, the African community free to
we want to talk about
that kind of discussion.
The programming strong.
You know, and again, uncomfortable topics because we love we religions, you know, but the as you say, the programming so strong that make we move away and hate we natural African spirituality. And now we don't even see how necessary it is today. One of the things I realized though is that we still know, you know, because it has certain things happen and always run by we.
Yeah, well, after the doctor tell you, well, I don't know what I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I can't tell you. I gave you this medication, it work. I gave you that medication, it work. We send it to check, to test here, test there, and you realize.
Oh, but then I go down in my yard because maybe have some kind of ritual or festival, or I just go on to check my chief. And I see you there. What are you doing here? You know? it is ours, but we're not using it.
Yeah.
You know, and the same thing applies for the way that plenty of us parents raised us now. We turn out to be upstanding citizens today, but we're not using some of the things that we parents did to mold us.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I see as detrimental too, boy, somebody bring it to my attention about 2 years ago. The notion that you're giving your child all the things you didn't have.
I don't subscribe to that at
I'm not
all.
writing it off right away, but I realize how the person put it, yes, it could be detrimental.
It is a detriment. Because you see, easy come, easy go.
Yeah.
Easy come, easy go. I live to see that. You understand? I don't know what it means to get nothing easy. Right? Even though I know my mother would have had the ability to do certain things. Not because she had that ability means she would have done it.
Yeah.
I still had to show my worth. And that's the same thing I teach in my children. You're not getting nothing easy. You had to pull your weight. Look at a simple thing. The other day I in the shop. And a customer, a Saturday now.
Right.
So Saturday is chores day.
Right.
Which is what it was for me. And I have value with that breads. So when my son he passing with the gloves under his arm here, the sieve, the toilet bowl cleaner, and he pass and he gone. He say good morning and he gone. So the customer watch me. She say, where you going? I say, me, where you going? She say, where you going? I say, you going and clean the bathroom in the shop. She say, but Kerron, you easy. He's only 7. I say, only 7? I said, I know free meals in here. You understand me?
Only.
I not into that. So I learned to clean house and yard and thing early.
All of that too.
Early. I was ironing clothes. In primary school, I was ironing my own shirt.
I know about people in secondary school and their parents ironing for you. I find that is utter garbage.
Bro, I seen some things happening now where children they don't know how to wash wares. They can't boil a little macaroni. That is madness.
You know, my mother didn't exactly want me to, because it was five away.
Right.
5 children could get into a lot of mischief. You know, so it has certain things she would not want us to do.
Right.
But I could basic sewing. I could do that with a needle in my hand.
Yeah, I know.
I could fix up thing and
Not much buttons
stitch it
I
in a kind of way, it rip, and I could put a decent stitch on it and thing way. You might see it have a stitch, but in all of the things my mother taught me. You know, cleaning out and thing. That wasn't like, I cannot remember it being a boy Gayelle kind of thing.
No.
We had to clean. It's 5 hours. Every week, somebody have a turn to wash wares. So it's your week to wash your wares. Right? Clean. Them things just help you.
But, Brethren, I am telling you, today or tomorrow, God forbid, that I am removed from this picture. My children could run my house. My children could run my house. From the biggest one, come straight down. Well, of course, my man, he now reach you. He get know about that. But the rest of them, they could handle the scene. You understand? My son know how to make breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Once the food put out, he could handle it. The bigger one, she could cook. You understand? She could cook, she liked to bake and them kind of things. So she could handle the scene. But you still have to be there with her. But I'm saying, we have lost touch with the things that we know work. Right? I am a fan of discipline. You understand? I am a fan of discipline. Corporal punishment, people mightn't like it. But in some communities, in some, it just is necessary. And since they removed that from schools, look at the chaos in the schools.
No doubt about that at all.
You understand? Look at the chaos in the schools. I mean, I understand now we reach a place where you might not want nobody to lash your child. But at the same time, oh God, boy.
It's not a matter of just not lashing it. I remember hearing my mother. My mother was a strict disciplinarian at that time too.
Right.
Telling the teachers.
Go ahead.
Yes. He could give him licks. But it had licks and it had licks. I remember that clear.
Yeah. But anybody who went success, lab until the other calling segment on Slammer Morning. Who is the teacher you fear the most?
Yeah, Miss Applewhite.
Oh gosh.
Once you went success during that time, I don't know how it ended up in the last few years after the ban, Corporal Punishment.
Yeah. Nah, but she had done retire.
She had done retire?
Yeah,
okay.
She had done retire.
Well, in the meantime,
Claudia, oh my God.
she did grab that pants there so.
Yeah, she holding it by the pocket here so and twist it.
Ooh. No. To some people, based on the new age kind of thinking, that is cruel and unusual punishment now.
Right.
But that's a kind of discipline because you would not walk past Miss Applewhite and not say good morning or good evening or nothing. Or you're in something that you know you shouldn't be doing and you see Miss Applewhite or you hear apples coming.
And it wasn't fair, it was respect.
Yeah.
It was respect.
You're done one time, you know? And that's what we're talking about.
Yeah. So folks, let me just stick up in. We coming back.
This year, avoid bacteria with C's cleaning supplies. Made locally superior quality, a family brand you can't deny. Detergents formulated to be better. Fabric softeners make laundry the brighter. All sanitizers are multi-purpose. So spend your pennies where it's a purpose.
Z's Cleaning Supplies is the new trusted brand for household cleaning. Visit us on Facebook and Instagram at Z's Cleaning Supplies. Place an order by calling us on 340-4610.
Talk Out the Box with Jaleel, Sundays at 3 p.m. right here in the Gayelle.
So we're back, and I had to say it that plenty of our people don't want to hear these discussions. They don't want to have it. They don't want to acknowledge it. And that's why so many people breaks in from it.
Agreed.
One, it's uncomfortable. Two, it might have in some cases retribution, right? But we had to do it. We have to do it all.
Yeah.
We can't carry on like this and not at least attempt. Because I have something I just say, I don't think I have all the solutions. I just know that the way that we living and moving right now, not working for us. And what kind of world I'm making for my daughter if I do even at least attempt
Yeah. Better to try and fail
to
than
do
fail to
something
try.
different. You know? I have a child coming out here. I have nieces and nephews coming out here. I have to at least, this discussion could at least a young person hear it and they able to do something with it. It sparks something with them, in them, that they able to take this even further into the zone of action, positive action. Because there's madness going on right now.
Yeah. And one of the things that is very concerning to me, because we talk about the crime situation earlier, how is it that we could organize? Because I just look at them, I just look at them. I mean, I from Lavantil. I know people who moving and operating in them circles, you know? And they're very organized, bro. They're very organized. So, how is it that we could organize and work together in that scenario? But when it comes to doing business together and running our communities, we unable to do that because we studying egos and, you know, positions in company and all them kind of things.
One of the things I realized too is we don't like to be different. You know? Plenty of we don't like to be different.
What do you mean?
We kind of want to follow the trend now. So that is the trend.
Yeah.
And if I say, well, nah, I don't want to get involved in crime. We talking about it. We don't want to be the person receiving that.
Yeah.
You know, I have never had a problem with it.
Yeah.
I know my dress code alone, they show that. I've never had a problem being different. I actually embrace that. But plenty of our younger people, plenty of them don't agree with it. But the peer pressure is real. Remember we parents talking to we about peer pressure growing up and thing.
Correct.
Peer pressure is a real thing, and peer pressure is not just on children. You have adults that fall under it too, you know. What we doing in we communities to stop the blood flow, to give young African people, young black people, a different sense of direction.
Alternative, yeah.
Yeah, what we do, I don't even want to say alternative. Because then it will sound like if that is
It's
the...
an
you know?
option, and it's not an option.
Yeah, it's not an option. I mean,
not
look
an
at how we people, there's just a body string up in the road somewhere or some kind of something.
And every other day is rest in peace, this rest
You
in
know,
peace,
that we ain't come here to live sober. No matter what you believe in, what religion, what spiritual system, whatever you think, we ain't come here to live so.
Yeah. No, I mean, you look at it on the streets and thing, you drive through Port of Spain, you realize the predominant race that homeless is we.
Is us, of course.
Yeah, it's us. And that is very disturbing for me. Very disturbing. You understand? We really need to correct some of these things. And the only way to correct them things is from home. You understand? Because we depart from a lot of the things as we was talking about earlier. A lot of the information that was instilled in us as children, we depart from it and we see in the result of it now. Children answering back their parents. You can't talk to them in the road. This whole situation right now with this COVID thing, where they're looking to open back up schools, you can't control adults with them mask and social distancing and thing, but you want to control children? How, boy? And the thing is, the children and them want somebody to talk to them, you know. They want somebody to show them and guide them, you know. They don't want to be figuring out things for themselves, but let me tell you what's the new fad. The children and them, daddy, oh gosh, you, take your tablet now. Go and watch YouTube.
That's so real. Because
I hear children coming in the bar
all
shop.
our readers do it.
Bro, I am children coming in my shop talking American now. That's the latest fad.
Well,
They say it's proper English, but it's
not proper
American.
English. But I just want to know if it's part two they hear better than us, because my daughter is doing it. And I say, but because my daughter, I don't want to watch nothing I don't watch. I want to see everything you're watching. You want to go on YouTube? Pull up YouTube and bring the tablet for me. You can't choose something to watch. Because I know the kind of garbage it have on YouTube. When I sit down and watch these things, these children are watching, and they sit down in front of this thing for hours. Nothing beneficial, nothing to teach them, nothing. Right? I want to see the tablet. For now, that I have that kind of control over you, I want to see that tablet. I want to see what you're watching. You can't download nothing without asking me. You can't pull up anything on YouTube without watching me. Because while these things and them could be used for good, it's a real distracting, nonsensical thing on these things. And them is the things the children just find to spend hours for. And as you say, it's easy to hand them because I have some work to do. I have some jerseys to print. My she inherited that from me. I know that she's real talk. And she's real talk to me. And while I love it, that she just talk to me, it's at times I need to focus, you know. And I catch myself doing it. So now I try to practice, because I see myself doing that same thing, you know, say. Take your tablet and bring it down up on YouTube.
Nah, we have a real lazy way of a parent.
So I start now to, and it's so changed up here all year, in a little space of time. You have to come and work with me. Either bring a book and do writing while I working, or now she want to work, she want to be in the business. So she's saying, Daddy, I want a business. 5 years old, Daddy, I want a business. You know?
We the only people afraid that, because when you go buy Ling on them.
No, I'm glad you say that.
Small Ling on the counter.
I'm telling you.
Right? Small Ling, they cash in. Packing shelf.
I want to tell you two things about that before I say what I want to lose my train of thought.
Alright, go ahead.
We go in buy them, and then I have no problem with them doing that. But I've seen people come in my businesses with me, with my daughter as a baby, and watching why you had this baby in here. And I see it at a particular establishment I used to frequent. The child on the counter, and I never hear not one soul question that, right? But our conversation I had with my partner this morning, and he brings something, and I'm glad you say that, boy. Everybody listening, this is something we have to change. He said, you know, one of the reasons why we as African people, as black people, afraid business in Trinidad and Tobago, plenty of we went to school and tried to start business. But when you're doing our business in school, what does it do?
Stop you.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you hearing that?
Yeah.
And that taking me, when I was going Success, I used to buy, I feel old saying it there, which part KFC is in Sawa. It had a clothes store there before KFC. I used to buy the panels there. My mother used to stitch the ends somewhere. And I used to go in school and sell, but we used to hide. People come in school with special sweetie and candy and thing, and that to hide.
Yeah. But them is thing they're supposed to encourage, because that is the entrepreneurial spirit.
This morning, I was having that discussion with my partner. And when he said that, nuclear bomb going off in my mind, because that is something only we have to work on in the African community.
Yeah.
You can't tell we children, don't do no business, but then looking at it, looking at them 15 years after you stop them from doing a business and they finish school and want to know why we have so much employees in the African community.
I don't afraid that. I am not afraid of that. I am telling you straight. I tell my children and them, I say, do not look to me for nothing. Right? I have created these 3 opportunities, these 4 opportunities for all you. All you're going to work it and make it happen. Big man in university, I don't tell you already. I say, when you come out from there, you're coming to implement whatever you learn. You understand? I say, because you ain't going there to play all fours, you know, and meet birds. You're going there to learn. You understand me? And I will tell you this. I learn. One of the things I do plenty is that I do have access to specific communities, right? But I had one customer who was from the Syrian community in the early days. And one of the things I learned from him is he tell me, he say, Kerron, today or tomorrow if my father pass away, he's the gangster Syrian I ever seen in my life. He wants to be black, in my opinion, right? I'm not calling the company name, but at the end of the day, what he explained to me is that when he finished CXC, he went to the father. The father said, well, what you want to do now? He said, well, you ain't going back to school. Where's the next step? He said, well, I want to be a pilot. He said, a pilot? A pilot is a glorified bus driver. Forget that. He said, all right, I want to be a chef. He said, nah, you like your belly too much. Forget that. He said, well, yeah, what? Since you don't know what you're going to do, I telling you what you're going to do. He said, Monday, you come into work, by me, 8 o'clock. Show up 8 o'clock. He come to work in shirt and tie and thing. He said, why, we're going in shirt and tie. He said, you ain't come to work in the office, you're going down in the yard. Right? He went from washing down the yard and earning day pay to porter, to driver, forklift. Then he eventually went up to managing the warehouse. From there, he went from warehouse, he went to HR, he do accounting, he do industrial relations. Everything he do. Right? So if today or tomorrow he father pass, he know how to run the whole business.
Yeah.
Right? So why are we forcing our children to ignore that side of their creativity, to just go to school and become educated and then go and
work for
run
them same people.
To go and run and work for them people.
Yeah.
Right? Folks, I have an acronym for job. It is just over broke. Just over broke. Because they will always pay what they feel is sufficient. Right? And what they see you or your worth, they will never pay you what you're worth. So I'm not telling you, forget your job.
The hard way.
I'm not telling you, forget your job.
We got to be smart about it earlier. We got to be smart about it.
Correct.
We can't just have a mass group of people just leave.
No.
And then rent still at the pay, mortgage still at the pay, bills still at the pay, still at the eat.
Correct.
Transport.
Correct.
All the different things in life.
But we need side gigs.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
we
like
gotta,
the term
exactly.
hustling.
And side gig could turn into...
But my side gig is my main gig now.
You understand what I'm saying?
My side gig is my main
You know,
gig.
side gig could turn into that now, but we had to start it.
Yeah.
And it cannot function and flourish in our communities the way we live in our communities right now.
Correct.
Right? You wouldn't want to open a business in a place where it's either it will get break-in, or you'll get robbed, or you'll get taxed. People ain't coming to run the open business in we communities.
No.
And more business in we community mean more money flowing in we community.
Yeah.
That is something we will bring our guests to explain the importance of your dollar circulating in your community. We need people to understand how important it is to spend more money in your community.
Yeah.
Because it's real simple, you know. More money spending in the community means more people in the community have money. Right? I remember growing up too. I grew up playing basketball. But my parents and them, because of the time that they come from, they didn't think it had any kind of future in that.
Right.
And while to a great extent they might have been right, they wasn't right offer valid information. They was just right based on the system of things, how the system was running now.
Right.
But sports is a great way. I mean, you see the ridiculous kind of money some athletes were working for. But a big part of that is dedication.
Discipline.
You know, so we had the talent here, you know. I don't care what nobody say. I firmly believe we have people here that can make it in the NBA. We have people here that can make it in any one of the football leagues in Europe. Right? This is how I always believe. I think we Trinidadians and Tobagonians supposed to be mashing up in the MLS.
Yeah.
Them ain't ready for we then.
Yeah.
That's the kind of talent I have seen here with my own eyes.
Yeah.
Right? But again, the discipline and what calling these people besides the natural talent.
Yeah.
And that's what we have to work on. We have to work on drawing them away from that and into something that is positive, that could pay them much, much more.
Yeah.
And not endanger their life.
Yeah.
Where they could actually help the communities, help the families and things.
No, but that is one of the realities that the young fellas and them don't face, you know. As somebody who's do motivational speaking, I just go and talk to young people. Some of them will ask you straight, how much money you making?
Yeah. I get that question dry. Dry.
Yeah.
From a youth man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get that in the police youth club and in my youth group, the youth group in Success Lab until there, Success RC. Men asking you straight, how much money you making?
Where you driving? That was what I get.
Yeah.
No, it didn't start with money. It started, what kind of car you driving? Because that is what they're looking at as
That's what
value.
they're seeing. That's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
That is what the emphasis is put on.
Material.
Yeah, I don't have dashiki and my big piece of wood. Yeah, that, you know, that's invaluable to them. I had my hair wrapped around my hand. You understand? That is,
No, it's big chain.
and that's what we had to work on getting to them now. Like, yo, your life worth more than that. Your life worth more than that. Your freedom worth more than that. And your peace of mind, we can't even put a word to it.
To that, yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Because half of them who doing them thing, they can't live where they live in. They can't come out.
In this beautiful country that we live in.
How you could choose a life like that, boy, and you can't even go in the cinema, boy? You can't even go Zen, not even Zen. Where's that place you could go now?
A club. There's a club.
You can't even go a little club because you're uncomfortable. You have to be watching over your shoulder here, watching over your shoulder there. Thing, you have 3 men watching for you.
Nah, that is not living.
That is failure. That is failure.
We could dress it up as much as we want, but that is not living.
No.
There is some other word you have to make up for that.
Yeah.
And we just have to find a way to reach with young black people. To let them know, yo, we need all you.
Yeah.
We need all you.
Yeah.
All you need we, you know. Because I can't believe it. I remember, I'll call his name, boy, Brent, boy, my partner from school, boy. I remember something we see and with young people, and Brent said to me, and that was so profound. He said, Dre, we's the adults now, you know, we had to talk to them. You know. I never forget that, boy. He, man, on mommy didn't even, I always tell him that. I said, you didn't even realize.
So you know say.
What you say there, boy. We's the adults now.
Yeah.
You know, people calling me sir and mister.
Well, hey, I put on my grades, you know.
I don't-
Men is the
I
ball
don't
again,
feel-
again, old boy. I said, brother, I work for my grades, you know.
I don't feel like a sir
No.
or a mister.
No.
But because of how I just carry myself,
Respectable.
people is, you know, the younger people and them now, you know, talk a certain way, ask you certain things and I respect myself enough to live up to what them see me as.
Yeah.
I ain't trying to live up to what somebody want me to be, you know.
Yeah.
That is what I is, and you seeing me as that, as no self, I have to work harder to live up to that. Because in this day, we know talking about respect and manners, and a youth could ball, sir, excuse me now. That means he view you as a elder, as, you know.
Correct.
And, you know, I always say,
Elders and
in the
elders.
African community, we are too much of olders and not enough elders. Yeah, so you're not my elder just because you're older than me, because some of their lifestyle, or them maybe never even talk to one youth. Or they always crying down the youth. We know where's the problem with the youth. We seen it. Give me an idea for a solution. Now.
Yeah.
And that's why we come up with this program, you know, the Afrotrinidadian, facing
Our issues.
and
Formulating
formulating
solutions.
solutions.
Yeah.
You understand? And I don't think no one person have all the solutions. But we have to start somewhere. Everything can be about partying and drinking and dressing up in a certain kind of way, and everything can be about. I like it, you know, don't get me wrong, you know. When they start back to fet, I fet in.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. But everything can be about that.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to spend all the money that I have on that.
Yeah.
We have to work on something different.
So parents, we begging all you, encourage all the children, pay attention to your children, because they will tell you, you know, they will tell you. Each one of them will show you what they like, and if you push them, I'll never forget. I spoke to I was in a birthday party with by my partner, and one of his cousins is a child psychologist. She was watching Amari. Amari stand up in the people and them party, and he marking this little boy on a truck. Right? He marked the man whole party. And as small man get up off that truck, he get on. And he would not leave the truck. But she watching how good he driving now. And he ting and he stop and he reverse and he come back here so and he ting and he go on and he press and he all over the place. So she come now, she say, whose son is this? So I say, well, that my son. She say, listen now, daddy. She say, I don't know your background and thing. She say, but you see that little boy? He is going to be driving, eh? She say, and don't try to push him into nothing else. If he like to drive, let him drive. So I used to let him drive. When I go in driving and thing, I mean, it's the wrong thing to do. But if I need area in Bataria, drive the Navara, he sit down on the wheel, I'm a lap on the driving and thing, and the man parking the van at 7 or 6 at time, I think it was. He was very small, you know, and we ignore those things. We ignore them things, you know. My daughter love to cook. I saw that. She liked to bake. She liked to be in the kitchen. She liked to mix things, you know. So we had to pay attention to the children. Pay attention. And I'm not talking about push them in a corner, right? Because you find it too noisy. You know, is the weirdest thing? You know, my children is the only children that's be outside on my street. You don't see nobody else children.
That's so big. That's so blatant.
Yeah, you don't see nobody else children.
But we fall because most of them just tell you, oh, the place not safe again.
Right.
But why the place ain't safe?
Yeah.
Because when you did see your little neighbor doing something, little child, you didn't talk to him. You went inside and you shoo, watch them.
Mm-hmm.
And them continue. They start up taking up a pebble, and then they take up a stone, and then they take up a big rock, and then they go with a whole quarry.
Correct.
And all of them things come from my way.
Tiffin is Tiffin.
Exactly. So you start small, but it grow.
Yeah.
And they get braver and more brazen with each thing now. You know? We had to do, the children inside is something I
don't subscribe to that.
I real glad my daughter like outside.
Yeah. And as listen, most of the things that the children and them doing is we teaching them not to know. Children fearless. We just teach children fear.
Yeah.
I look at my baby in water. The man is fearless. I am tempted to let him go in the water. Because I see I be following a lady on Instagram who does be teaching children and she's pell them in the pool. But I don't have the belly. I don't have the belly to do it. Right? But remember, we live in water for the first 9 months of our life.
Yeah.
But you're seeing he naturally, you put him, as soon as he hit the water, he further start to do so. He kicking, you know. And I say, but would he? It's natural. Where that coming from? We just teach them fear. Don't go up there. Don't go so. Don't do this. You will fall down.
Well, boy, I ain't lying, eh? I real guilty because I real protective of my one piece.
Ooh, Lordy.
I real protective of she, but I real try to let she explore. I mean, I'm listening to her, and these children so intelligent today. Some of the things she's saying back to me and conversing about, I trying to figure out where you learn that. But it's in everyday life, and you see that thing about it as watch you.
Emulation.
Oh, Lord, that's scary.
Yeah.
And that is something we have to pay attention to, African people. Them children and them doing what we doing. Not what we saying all alone.
Yeah.
They see what we doing.
Yeah.
You know, 5-year-old child, Daddy, I want to print jersey just like you.
And you see, as you mentioned that, we always talking about slavery. We talk about this week here. We don't understand how that affected us.
Yeah.
And continues to affect us.
To today.
To this day.
So much so that there are people would say, no, I'm not affected by that.
Breads. I look at my wife and my children, right? My children into technology. They're very technological because she is very technological. When she was pregnant with them, what she was doing, she on the phone, she on the laptop, she doing this, she doing that. You feel that not passing?
Yeah, them come out blowing that.
Exactly. So if that, we use the example with your phone the other day. If that passing through, imagine what years you get licks to plant land, you get brand to plant land, and now you're what we to own land? Oh yeah, we gonna own land. The same thing what we get licks to deal with. We don't want to deal with that.
Yeah.
So
the first thing we do, we run from that.
Correct. So when you look at it now, you kind of understand why it is people sell off land, acres of property.
We never took as African people, as free people, we never take a look at that situation and just feel, well, because we in sea, we do have the whip over we feel everything, nothing didn't change, you know.
Correct.
All they do was move it physical. Some of the detrimental actions that we just take against our own self is as a direct result
Of slavery.
of trauma from slavery.
Yeah. Post-traumatic slave disorder.
It's still affecting me.
Yeah.
But I have people I know my age and a little younger and older will go down, they'll try to go down die hard. It have no effects of slavery on the world today. Don't mind, nearly plenty of the people who was wealthy from slavery still wealthy today because that money translate to today, they get to invest in other things. Right?
Yeah.
And if some of them still wealthy and you just see it, when we look at American television, you just see they still have the slave owner mentality. If them still have a slave owner mentality, what we still have?
As the old saying goes, we have to seek first to understand before we could be understood. And I live in by that because I telling you more and more when I look at those things, it have plenty things coming down through our genes that we don't understand. Right? My temper, I get my temper from my father and my mother. So I get twice. And I never wanted my children to get that. But when I look at my sons and them, all of them have it. My daughter, she a little more dainty, so I never see she trip off yet. But the boys, oh my goodness. If I could go into my genealogy and take out one thing that I didn't want them to get, is that. But I know it have a place for it. You understand? And that if anybody push them to a particular point, they will have some problems. But I'm saying, if I had no control over that, writing that into my children genes, right? My son, my biggest son, has walked just like me. You understand? It's the scariest thing. To look at your children and see the things about yourself that you do like in them.
Yeah.
So how could we even fathom saying that those things didn't affect us? And we can't forget it.
You know, and I just use it, I always say, they just tell me, you only want to talk about clothes, yes. Because that's what I do for a living. Right? You don't want to go by the mechanic, and you hear him talk not one thing about fixing an engine.
Yeah.
Right? Was the same thing. Today is pips, you know, in we Trinidad slang is pips. To wear a white man name branded across your chest. Why we so addicted to that? Because for 400 and something years, the names was on us in some way, form, or fashion, either physically branded on you, or you're living in a place, or that Johnson slave. Right? Even these names, my chief Olakia Masatunji always is a big advocate of that. We have to change. We have to reclaim our names. We have to reclaim our names because things like Johnson and Smith and thing, that not your name. That was the name of the person who did own you. They might allow your mother to get your first name, but your last name is them own.
Correct.
And we just we carry it on now. So we claiming freedom. But we names, and names have so much power. Well, I'm glad to hear some African black people today acknowledging the power of our name. You know? And it's one of my missions for the next calendar year. I looking to see that before half of the calendar year next year finish, legally, my name is changed. It was already done spiritually. You know? And that next thing too, and it goes back, our partner converted to Islam in the 90s. A fella I grew up with. And I'm proud of myself that I used to try to call him by his Islamic name.
Yeah, Muslim, yeah.
Right? And today, I see the difference in that because I remember he telling people, don't call me that, call me this. I make up my mind I wouldn't tell people that. But I respect hell out of people.
Who's try?
Yeah. Somebody will message me and say, tell me the pronunciation of your name. Right? The reason why I have a extra respect for them is that they respect my decisions.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it have a lot of people on the flip side of that. I see they have absolutely no respect for me. Because you'll be here and you'll hear Kerron call me Orisalase. And sometimes there's almost hate in the tone that they make it up, the point to say Andre. You know, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
As I say, I wouldn't tell anybody to call me that now. I hope that my destiny is that I live long enough in an realm that Orisalase is the name, or any other name that I acquire as I go along the journey in Orisha. I'd be here long enough that the majority of people dies without no mass. Yeah? But it's important. And
Yeah.
we gotta keep at it. We gotta keep at it because it's not easy. It's uncomfortable. I see the what is it what they use? Discomfort. I see the discomfort in some people when we having this conversation in private. Real discomfort. Like, you see that? Because that's really thing. Like, you know, you know. And I'm not saying that I doesn't be uncomfortable sometimes, because sometimes you have to admit certain things about even yourself and all. Part of it is self-reflection, which I've been trying to do in the last 2 years, year and a half. And I see some things about myself I don't like. You understand? I saw that, you know, and trying to look at things differently and think about things differently. It's easier said than done, and I will be the first person to acknowledge that. Because if you come to me and ask me something and you want this advice, one of the first things I tell you, I'm not trying to make it sound easy. I'm not trying to make it sound easy because sometimes that change is the hardest thing you would attempt at that point in your life.
Yeah, but remember they say it takes 21 times to create a habit. 21 times. So if you are accustomed, as you say, if you're accustomed pressing this button on this side all the time,
Yeah, boy.
to switch from that to something else, you have to practice that, you know. It's a habit. You have to create a habit out of doing things. So
Right now I'm trying to
reflection.
get into the habit of exercising, but I have a mission in Gayelle. We go see how it go. But yeah, the idea of habit, because the phone, the button's always on the other side, it come on this side.
You gotta
The
get
phone a few months I using it. Now when you had my other phone, I check in for this side.
This
So
side,
yeah, the habit, the creating a habit.
Yeah.
We gotta create a habit of talking to we people, talking to we young people. We can just write off all of them.
Yeah.
All of them in bad.
No. And most of them, as I said just now, most of them looking for somebody to talk to. You know, that's why I say we need to put the unity back in community just now, because even in our families, like I look at my children, because I am the disciplinarian, my children don't talk to me now. When I say talk, they're not
Yeah, that's certain things
inclined
yeah.
to open up to me now, because, you know, they're like, God, my daddy, boy. But if I engage them, you see it. You understand? You see it. I look at Amari, basketball boss.
Yeah,
Right?
I see
The
that.
basketball boss. All I had to do is start to talk to him about that, and he gone.
Yeah.
You know? But it's something nice to see. You know, you want your children to talk to you and you want to things, but there's a line, because from the time they start to get too comfortable, the disrespect is creeping. You understand? And you don't want that.
Yeah.
Which is one of the most difficult things, to balance that. You know?
Yeah, it's not no book on that.
Nah.
It's not no book on
That's
that.
something you have to wean out and try with each one of your children, because the children, everybody
saw-
child different.
I saw that we were talking about earlier. They say, you know, you see that talking and there was somebody to talk to. The child was traditionally a quiet child who talk much and thing. And we get into a conversation. I just so happened to know a little bit about something he liked now. I catch myself at 2 hours I talking to the boy, you know. So, but they not the same boy. They say don't talk and you understand?
Yeah.
So
Nah, most of the time it's because they really don't have nobody want to take the time
as you say,
to reason with them.
not just that, not just take the time, you know. This is the time. Hey, hold that.
Yeah,
You know, that is the time now. And
yeah.
I like it. At that time, it have times, my daughter, you know, if I say, no tablet today. And we have things. Again, this is work for me. We could try, or you could modify to suit you. We had daddy-daughter days. So if I say this morning, well, I want to straighten up and clean up and thing, but I say this evening is daddy-daughter evening. Kerron, if I pick up my phone during daddy-daughter time,
It's
like
lit.
problems,
Yeah. But you give her that authority.
exactly.
You give her that
Exactly.
authority, yeah.
And I like it now. Because she expecting we either going and sit down and watch a movie together, or we going and talk, or I know I introduce you to snake and ladder. All your snake and ladder, something so simple that we take for granted.
Yes.
And my daughter only want to play snake and ladder. All she want to do is play snake and ladder. Because I introduced you to it, and it's something that we do together.
Yeah.
You understand? What she did like, she's only want to do it, she waits for the breaks from the dominoes. You know? It's the things that we do, and I do them things just to try and take you away from that. But to keep this energy, this vibe where you're talking to daddy and thing. Yeah.
Well, we had it's about to wrap up, so what we gonna say? All try to
engage more
with
the young children, the young people,
with the youths.
You know, respect and manners. Even though it played down.
Yeah.
You hear people use himself or say certain things.
Yeah.
It goes a long way.
Yeah.
Right? And we have to have these discussions. Even if you don't want to go outside there, I understand that. Even if you don't want to go outside and have this discussion, it had to be had in your home. You might be watching your son, your daughter, your niece, your nephew, your cousin, you know, your partner, child who you could talk to. Because, you know, that's how some of we grew up. I have a partner that brought his son to talk to me a few years ago. You know?
That's happened with me all the time. Somebody always bringing their child to talk to me.
Right.
And I cool with that.
Yeah, of course.
I really cool with that. Because I am there for that. I don't turn anybody away. You understand? And I don't pretend that I know everything either. Because most of the time, some of them just want somebody to listen to them, you know. Somebody to just listen to them, you know. So, you know, guys, we really need to just take a step back. We cannot catch up to none of these other
you keep saying that, eh?
We cannot catch up.
It has certain things we can't catch up in.
Yeah, we had to take baby steps.
Especially when it comes to money and finance. Because one of the things I realizing is that money and finance could be two different things.
This is.
Right? We can't catch up with it. And we goal shouldn't be to catch up. Because anytime we go to catch up, we will be frustrated.
Correct.
We have to interact more. We have to have these discussions more. We have to live in that unity, as you say, more.
Correct.
You understand?
Yeah.
We had to do that all day.
And remember to like, follow, share, subscribe.
Comment on anything. Let we get a discussion going in the comment section. Comment. You know, but we had to like it and share it for it to grow. Yeah. Because it's betterment we're looking for us, for we.
Yeah. So the Afrotrinidadian View on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. What again? TikTok. Yeah, we on TikTok too.
Right? Gayelle Caribbean on Facebook. YouTube, follow them.
Yep.
You know, all the get involved. Let we get involved and let we do this thing. We could do this.
Yeah.
We could do this. We had to look outside and we had to do this and we could do this.
Correct.
So, more life, or let be safe out there. Live in love. Yeah, goodness.